For this video, I was going to talk a little bit about different types of salt. This is important for making barbecue rubs or any type of, just using salt as a seasoning. There's different properties each of these have. Now, I actually don't have regular table salt up here. I don't use regular table salt. I use the Himalayan pink salt on the right as my table salt. Now, I don't use a lot of salt at all, really, because I don't really care for salty food. Sometimes I'll use sea salt for certain things, but I primarily, for barbecue, I use the two kosher salts. Initially, I was only using the Morton, and I kept seeing other guys on YouTube use the Diamond Crystal kosher salt. I didn't really know if it was a difference, so I looked it up and read about it, and there's quite a big difference. We'll talk about some of those. We'll go down here first. I'll just kind of show the different ones. This is your pink Himalayan salt. Now that comes in a grinder. You can, I'm sure you can get it not in a grinder, but that's the consistency that mine comes out. Now the pink Himalayan salt, they say you get 84 minerals, things like that. I guess health benefits. Sea salt. Now this is a fine grained sea salt. The one I use comes from Costco. Turn it around and you can see the back. The ingredients say sea salt only. If you look at this, on the Himalayan salt, it just says Himalayan pink salt, but it supposedly has all these different minerals and things that are beneficial to the human body in them. So you get over here, the kosher salts generally don't have additives. This one here, the Morton, if you look at it, it actually has an anti-caking agent in it. The Diamond Crystal kosher salt, they don't use that. They don't have an anti-caking agent. But, and of course both will say does not supply iodide. Now on these kosher salts, there's a difference in the two from a barbecue standpoint. If you go here and look at the Morton, you can see it's larger crystals. That's the Diamond Crystal on the left, Morton over here. So you got larger crystals. Generally they're more dense. They're harder. Some people say it tastes a little saltier. If you look over here at the Diamond Crystal, you see these are a lot smaller, more flaky. These are lighter due to the process of harvesting this. It ends up hollow. You won't be able to see that, but they're, due to them being a lighter and having a hollow base, they actually dissolve faster. And since they're lighter, they tend to stick better, the finer grains, so it'll stick better to your meats. I've seen people that like Mortons. Most people tend to like the Diamond Crystal. I've got to where I tend to use Diamond Crystal exclusively. Now, especially on like the kosher salts, or really any of the salts, you can look and you can find these conversion tables and all this information online that will tell you about these. If you're going by recipe, you can't just say, okay, salt 1 teaspoon and expect it to be the same across the board. That's not how it is. Table salt is probably the most uniform. You're going to end up with a lot more salt in a teaspoon than you will something like the kosher salts over here. Like the sea salt is actually ground. You can get different ones, but the fine grain here, very similar to like a table salt. But you can see your kosher salts, you've got different crystal sizes, so that's not going to pack into a measuring spoon the same way a finer grain salt will. For instance, if you look it up, you'll see that the Morton salt is, 1 teaspoon will contain 4.8 grams of salt, as opposed to Diamond Crystal, 1 teaspoon will be 2.8 grams. So you can't substitute these things. But anyway, just a short video. A lot of people have different types of salt in their kitchen. A lot of people, all they know is table salt, and that's all they cook with and all they use. So just an informational video here, things I found useful.